Some people wake up every morning and discover that money came into their account while they were asleep. No client calls, no emails, no boss asking where they are, and no side hustle taking up every hour after work. It is not because they found a secret stock. It is not because they bought a complicated investment property. It is because they own businesses that continue operating even when they are not physically there. And most of these businesses are not exciting. They are not going viral on social media. Nobody is taking pictures beside them. Nobody is bragging about owning them at dinner. They are boring businesses that most people ignore until they see the monthly cash flow. I reviewed 20 simple business models that can be operated with systems, employees, equipment, contracts, or recurring customers. Some of these ideas might hurt a little because you have probably seen them your entire life without realizing that somebody was quietly making serious money from them. And make sure you stay until number one, because number one is not one specific business. It is the principle connecting almost every business on this list. Once you understand it, you will start seeing business opportunities everywhere. My name is Marcus, and one thing I have learned from studying ordinary people who built real wealth is that most of them did not become successful because they invented a brilliant idea. They found a boring problem. They solved it repeatedly. And they continued doing it long after everyone else got distracted by something more exciting. We are counting down from 20 to 1. For each business, I will explain what it takes to start, how the money is made, and why most people completely ignore it. Let's begin. Business 20. Commercial window cleaning. Let's start with something you see in every city, but probably never think about. People cleaning the windows of office buildings, hospitals, hotels, and commercial properties. From the outside, it looks like a dangerous job. Someone is hanging from a building with ropes, equipment, and a bucket. Most people see that and immediately think, I would never do that. Good. That is exactly why the competition is lower. You do not need to be the person hanging from the building. You need to find trained people who can perform the work safely, pay them well, and secure contracts with properties that need their windows cleaned repeatedly. Commercial buildings do not clean their windows once and forget about them forever. They need regular maintenance. Hospitals need it, hotels need it, office towers need it, shopping centers need it. A single commercial cleaning day can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the size and difficulty of the property. But the real business is not one cleaning job. The real business is the annual contract. An operator managing several trained crews can generate serious revenue without ever personally climbing a building. The first pattern is already appearing. The more physically uncomfortable a business looks, the fewer people want to compete in it. The discomfort is not always the problem. Sometimes the discomfort is what protects the profit. Business 19. Pressure washing. No harness this time. No tall building. No complicated degree. You need professional pressure washing equipment, insurance, transportation, and a market full of dirty concrete. Sidewalks, parking lots, building exteriors, driveways, storefronts, apartment complexes. People think pressure washing is a weekend side hustle. And if you only take random residential jobs, that is exactly what it becomes. You spend every week searching for the next customer. You complete the job. You get paid once. Then the income disappears. Smart operators do something different. They target commercial buildings, restaurants, apartment complexes, property managers, and homeowners associations. Instead of selling one cleaning, they sell a maintenance schedule. Every month, every quarter, every 6 months. The equipment may cost a few $1,000s, but the real asset is not the machine. It is the signed agreement telling you when the customer will pay again. Think about it like this. Selling one pressure washing job is like selling one bottle of water. Signing a yearly maintenance contract is like becoming the company that delivers water to the same office every Monday. One requires another sale. The other creates a schedule. And schedules are easier to scale than surprises. Business 18. Portable restroom rentals. This may be the least glamorous business on the entire list. And that is exactly why it deserves your attention. Nobody dreams about owning portable restrooms. Nobody posts a picture of one and says, "This is the business that will make me financially free." But construction sites need them. Outdoor events need them. Fairs need them. Festivals need them. Temporary work locations need them. And the customer usually does not want to own, transport, clean, store, and maintain the unit. They want it delivered. They want it serviced. Then they want it removed. That creates a simple model. You purchase the units. You rent them by the week, month, project, or event. You create scheduled cleaning routes. You collect recurring payments while the units remain in use. You are not convincing someone to purchase an ugly product. You are charging them to avoid owning it. And that is a very different kind of sale. There is a lesson hidden here. Products people do not want to touch, clean, store, or think about often make excellent rental businesses. The ugliness keeps customers from owning it themselves. And it keeps your competition smaller. Business 17. Vending machines. The vending machine business has changed. Modern machines accept cards. They can track inventory. They can send alerts to your phone. You can see what is selling without standing beside the machine all day. But the most important part of this business is still the same. Location. A beautiful machine in a dead hallway makes almost nothing. An average machine inside a busy factory, hospital, school, apartment building, or gym can sell all day. A strong location may generate hundreds or more than $1,000 per month, depending on the traffic, product margins, placement agreement, and operating expenses. But what are you really purchasing when you install a vending machine? It is not just metal, glass, and snacks. You are purchasing permission to occupy a valuable corner. That empty corner in a factory produced nothing before your machine arrived. Now it earns money every time someone gets hungry during a shift. One machine will probably not change your life. But one good location teaches you the model. Then you add another, then another. Eventually, you hire someone to restock the route. At that point, the business stops depending completely on your time. The machine sells while you sleep. The location does the marketing. And the route becomes the business. Business 16. ATM placement. This business connects perfectly with vending machines. Anyone can purchase an ATM, place it inside an approved business, load it with cash, and earn a surcharge when someone makes a withdrawal. The best locations are places where people regularly need cash. Bars, convenience stores, laundromats, small markets, entertainment venues, cash-heavy local businesses. You are not selling a product. You are selling immediate access. The person needs cash now. Your machine is standing 6 feet away. That convenience creates the fee. Depending on the transaction volume, surcharge, processing costs, cash requirements, and location agreement, a well-placed machine can produce meaningful monthly income. But the machine is not the difficult part. The difficult part is finding a location with enough demand. And here is why vending and ATM routes fit together. Once a business owner trusts you enough to accept one machine, the second conversation becomes easier. You already have the relationship. You already visit the location. You already understand the traffic. One location can become two income streams without creating two completely separate customer acquisition systems. That is how boring businesses become efficient. They stack simple services on top of relationships that already exist. Business 15. Small business bookkeeping. Now we move from machines to paperwork. And nothing sounds more boring than paperwork. That is exactly why business owners pay someone else to handle it. Every small business needs to know what came in, what went out, what is owed, what is due, which expense belongs where, and whether the numbers inside the bank account match the numbers inside the books. Most owners do not start businesses because they love categorizing transactions. They start because they enjoy construction, consulting, cleaning, marketing, dentistry, fitness, food, or another skill. Then the paperwork begins following them home. A bookkeeper takes that problem away. Depending on the complexity of the business, a client may pay hundreds or more than $1,000 per month. 10 clients paying $1,000 each creates $10,000 in monthly revenue. No storefront, no inventory, no expensive machine, just a laptop, the right skills, reliable systems, and customers who pay every month because the work never permanently ends. What are you really selling? Not spreadsheets. Peace of mind. You are giving the owner confidence that someone responsible is watching the numbers. And peace of mind is one of the easiest things to sell when the customer is already losing sleep. Business 14. Residential and commercial. Cleaning this business is so obvious that people assume there must be something wrong with it. Cleaning homes, cleaning offices, cleaning rental properties, cleaning medical facilities, cleaning stores. It does not sound innovative. It does not need to. The customer does not care whether your business is innovative. They care whether the property is clean on Monday morning. A solo cleaner with several recurring weekly clients can build thousands of dollars in monthly revenue. Add a trained crew, route scheduling, supplies, quality control, and commercial contracts, and the numbers can grow quickly. But cleaning companies usually do not fail because the owner cannot clean. They fail because the owner keeps chasing new customers while ignoring customer retention. A client who books once creates one payment. A client who books every Friday creates 52 payments per year. That difference is the whole business. You do not need hundreds of customers. You need enough good customers who trust you and continue coming back. The best cleaning operators do not simply clean better. They communicate better. They arrive consistently. They protect the client's property. They fix mistakes quickly. And they make replacing them feel risky. When the customer thinks, I do not want to start over with someone new, you have created a valuable business. Business 13. Pest control. Nobody enjoys discussing cockroaches. Cockroaches do not care. Termites do not care. Rodents do not care. And health inspectors definitely do not care. That is why pest control remains necessary in good economies and bad ones. Restaurants cannot simply hope the problem disappears. Apartment managers cannot ignore infestations forever. Homeowners do not want to negotiate with insects. They want the problem gone. The strongest part of this model is recurring maintenance. Once a customer signs up for monthly or quarterly service, the relationship can continue for years. The technician returns on schedule. The customer pays on schedule. And the business avoids starting from zero every month. Urgency also changes the sales conversation. When you desperately need a customer, you must persuade them. When the customer urgently needs the problem removed, they are already looking for somebody to pay. That changes your negotiating power. Pest control sits in that second category. The customer is not deciding whether pest control would be fun to have. They are deciding how quickly someone can arrive. Business 12. Laundromats. A laundromat may be the classic boring business. Rows of machines, plastic chairs, bright lights, people waiting for clothes to finish spinning. Nothing about it looks like the future, but people will continue washing clothes. Recession or no recession. New technology or old technology, people still need clean clothing. The machines perform most of the service. The customer loads them. The customer waits. The customer removes the clothing. The operator manages the location, maintenance, utilities, security, cleanliness, payment systems, and customer experience. A strong location can generate reliable revenue, but a bad lease, old machines, high water costs, or weak maintenance can destroy the economics. This is why due diligence matters. The business is simple. That does not mean the deal is automatically good. But something interesting happens inside successful laundromats. They stop being one business. There may be snack machines, drink machines, an ATM, wash and fold service, pickup and delivery, commercial laundry contracts. A single location can contain several small income streams under one roof. The customer came to wash clothes. While waiting, the same customer may use 3 other services. That is not innovation. That is intelligent stacking. Business 11. Self-storage. Drive through almost any growing city and you will see new self-storage facilities appearing. Why? Homes are expensive. Apartments are smaller. Families accumulate more belongings. People move. Couples separate. Businesses need inventory space. And online sellers often need somewhere cheaper than a full warehouse. Self-storage does not really sell empty rooms. It sells relief from a space problem. The customer has possessions and nowhere convenient to place them. You provide a locked space. They pay every month until the problem disappears. Sometimes the customer stays much longer than expected because moving the items again feels inconvenient. That friction supports retention. The most interesting customer is no longer always the family moving homes. It can be the small e-commerce sellers storing boxes, the contractor storing tools, the event company storing equipment, the local service business using the unit as inexpensive operational space. The same metal door can serve completely different customers, and every one of them pays for access, security, and convenience. Business 10. Equipment and tool rental. Now we reach businesses where startup capital begins to matter more. Professional mowers, scaffolding, concrete equipment, industrial saws, trailers, small excavators, specialized construction tools. These items can cost thousands of dollars, but many contractors only need them for one job. A contractor may need a specific machine for 3 days. Buying it makes no sense. Storing it makes no sense. Maintaining it makes no sense, so they rent it. The owner purchases the equipment once and rents the same asset repeatedly throughout its useful life. The customer gets access without long-term ownership. The owner gets paid every time the machine leaves the yard. But this model depends on more than purchasing equipment. Maintenance matters. Insurance matters. Damage deposits matter. Utilization matters. A $20,000 machine sitting unused is not an asset. It is expensive decoration. The operator wins by understanding local demand and purchasing equipment that contractors already need. And here is where we need to pause. Because people watch videos like this, hear about equipment rentals, laundromats, vending routes, franchises, or buying an existing business and immediately think, that sounds great, but where am I supposed to get the money? That is where your credit profile can enter the business conversation. For a new business without an established financial history, lenders may rely heavily on the owner's personal credit. The SPA says poor credit history is one of the main reasons small business loan applications are declined. And new business eligibility is often based on the owner's personal credit profile. That means two people can find the same $50,000 business opportunity and face completely different financing situations. One may qualify for reasonable terms. The other may face a denial, a higher cost, a larger down payment, or a lender demanding more security. Not because the business changed, because the borrower did. So before you apply for equipment financing, a business credit card, a line of credit, or a loan to purchase a business, check your personal credit. Review Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Look for incorrect late payments, accounts that are not yours, duplicate collections, wrong balances, outdated information, unauthorized inquiries, and accounts showing different information across the bureaus. Dispute genuine errors with the reporting company and the business that supplied the information. But do not dispute accurate negative information simply because you want funding. The CFPB warns that accurate negative information generally cannot just be removed. Credit repair does not create startup capital. It does not guarantee approval, but an accurate, stronger credit profile can prevent old reporting mistakes from making an already expensive business even more expensive. Now let's get back to the list. Business 9. Collectible card reselling. This one does not sound boring at first. Sports cards, trading cards, collectibles, it sounds like a hobby, but the business side is extremely repetitive. Buy collections or bulk lots, sort the cards, identify the valuable ones, check the year, check the player, check the condition, compare recent sales, decide what deserves professional grading, list the inventory, package orders. Repeat, the profit does not come from randomly guessing which player might become famous. The repeatable business comes from knowing how to identify mispriced inventory faster and more accurately than the seller. A person may sell an entire box because they do not have the patience to inspect 2,000 cards. Your patience becomes the margin. The work is not glamorous. Hours of sorting, research, photography, descriptions, shipping. That is precisely why serious operators can create an advantage. Boring does not mean the product itself must look boring. It means the process is repeatable, disciplined, and usually invisible to everyone watching the final sale. Business 8. Small parts manufacturing. Look around the room. Screws, plastic clips, metal brackets, connectors, rubber pieces, custom fittings. Small parts are holding almost everything together. Nobody dreams of becoming the world's most respected manufacturer of one oddly shaped plastic connector. That is why these opportunities exist. Large factories do not always want small custom orders. A client may need 2,000 specialized pieces. That order is too small to matter to a huge manufacturer. But it can be perfect for a smaller operation with the right machinery, designability, and quality control. The customer is not searching for the most exciting company. They are searching for someone who can manufacture the correct part at the correct tolerance by the correct deadline. And once that part becomes integrated into the customer's operation, the order may repeat every month, every quarter. Every production run. The small manufacturer does not need the entire market. It needs several customers whose larger suppliers consider them too small to serve properly. The giant's rejection becomes the small company's opportunity. Business 7. Niche software for small businesses. You do not need to build the next social network. You do not need millions of users. You need one annoying problem inside one specific industry. Appointment scheduling for electricians. Inventory tracking for small repair shops. inspection reports for property managers, follow-up software for dental clinics, quoting software for contractors. The big software companies often ignore narrow problems because the market looks too small. But a small niche with 1,000 businesses paying $100 per month is not small to the person who owns the software. The product does not need to look revolutionary. It needs to save time, reduce mistakes, remove paperwork, or help the customer make more money. That is what business owners pay for. A small business owner already paying $100 per month for mediocre software is not waiting for artificial intelligence to reinvent the industry. They are waiting for the problem to stop annoying them. Build something simpler, serve the niche better, make switching easy, then charge every month. Business 6. Specialized electrical services. Electricians have existed for generations, but the market around them keeps changing. Electric vehicles need charging installations, homes have smart devices, businesses need upgraded electrical systems, properties need energy management equipment. The trade is old, the specialization is new. A general electrician competes against every other electrician nearby. A specialist in EV charging, smart home systems, or another growing category competes against a much smaller group. That specialization can support higher rates because the customer is not simply paying for labor. They are paying for knowledge that fewer people possess. This is another pattern appearing across the list. You do not always need a new business model. Sometimes you need an old business pointed toward a new problem. The first specialist in a local market may build relationships with property developers, car dealerships, builders, offices, and homeowners before traditional competitors notice the opportunity. Getting there earlier creates leverage. Business 5. Plumbing for commercial kitchens. Everyone jokes about plumbers charging too much until water is flooding the floor. Then suddenly, the price is no longer the main concern. Speed is. A general residential plumber can build a strong business, but specialization changes the economics. Restaurants cannot casually wait a week for a critical kitchen problem to be repaired. A blocked drain, damaged pipe, leaking system, or broken fixture can interrupt operations. An interrupted kitchen means lost sales. That makes reliability valuable. A plumber specializing in commercial kitchens can combine scheduled maintenance with emergency work. The maintenance creates predictable revenue. The emergencies create premium revenue. And because the business focuses on one customer type, the systems become easier to improve. The same equipment, the same common problems, the same decision makers, the same operating environment. Specialists stop explaining everything from the beginning. They already understand the customer. And once you become the person a restaurant calls before anyone else, you stop competing only on price. You become part of the operation. Business 4. Parking lots. An empty piece of land does not look like a business until it is located beside offices, hospitals, entertainment venues, airports, universities, or crowded city streets. Then the empty space becomes valuable. A parking operation does not need beautiful packaging. It does not need a sales team calling customers. It does not need inventory shipped across the country. It needs location, access, payment systems, security, maintenance, and people who need somewhere to leave a vehicle. A strong parking location can generate thousands of dollars per month with relatively limited staffing. But location controls almost everything. A brilliant parking business in the wrong area is useless. An average parking lot beside a place where everyone needs parking can perform extremely well. This business does not compete through innovation. It competes through control of space. And unlike a social media idea, a location cannot be duplicated overnight. The person controlling the useful corner controls the advantage. Business 3. Established service franchises. Buying a franchise requires capital. It is not the right choice for everyone. You pay fees, you follow rules, you operate inside someone else's system. But that is also what you are purchasing. A tested system, brand recognition, training, operating procedures, suppliers, marketing guidance, and years of mistakes that someone else already paid to make. The SPA explains that franchising provides more guidance but less control, while buying an independent existing business generally gives more control but less outside support. A franchise does not remove risk. A famous logo cannot fix a terrible location, weak management, excessive rent, or an owner who ignores the numbers. But it can remove some of the uncertainty around how the business is supposed to operate. Starting from scratch means inventing the instruction manual while the business is already losing money. Buying a franchise means paying for a manual that already exists. The question is whether the price of that system makes sense compared with its actual cash flow. Do not buy a franchise because you recognize the name. Study the fees, contracts, territory, required purchases, labor costs, lease, existing locations, and the realistic amount of money remaining after everyone else gets paid. Business 2. Buying an existing business. This is different from every other idea on the list. It is not about which business to start. It is about whether you should start one at all. Most people believe business ownership begins with a blank page. A new name, a new logo, no customers, no employees, no revenue, no proof that anyone wants the product, but you can also purchase a business that is already operating, a cleaning company with customers, a vending route with locations, a laundromat with existing revenue, a pest control company with maintenance contracts, a bookkeeping business with monthly clients, a service company whose owner wants to retire. When you buy an existing business, you may inherit an established customer base, trained employees, known expenses, operational history, supplier relationships, and existing cash flow. But you also inherit its problems, which is why the SPA stresses due diligence around contracts, leases, finances, permits, inventory, and operations. The customer is already paying. The question is not, will this idea work? The question becomes, is the cash flow real, stable, transferable, and worth the purchase price? That does not make the acquisition automatically safe. The owner may be essential to the business. A major customer may be leaving. Equipment may need replacement. The lease may expire. Employees may quit after the sale. The books may be inaccurate. That is why you bring in an accountant and an attorney before buying. You are not simply purchasing revenue. You are purchasing the system producing that revenue. You need to know whether that system keeps working after the old owner walks away. But when the business is healthy, buying cash flow that already exists can be very different from spending years hoping cash flow eventually appears. Business 1. Recurring revenue. We have reached number 1. And like I told you at the beginning, it is not one specific business. It is the principle connecting almost every strong business on this list. Recurring revenue. The difference between earning once and earning repeatedly. Sell someone one bottle of water and you get paid once. Deliver water to the same office every Monday and you get paid every week. Sell a pressure washing job and you get paid once. Sign a maintenance contract and the same property pays again. Sell one bookkeeping project and you get paid once. Manage the books every month and the same customer returns. Rent one storage unit and the customer may continue paying for years. Place a vending machine and the same location generates transactions every day. Own a laundromat and people return every week because their clothes keep getting dirty. That is the invisible structure. The customer does not disappear after the first payment. The need returns. And when the need returns, the payment can return with it. People underestimate simple things that repeat because repetition does not feel exciting. A new idea gives your brain energy. A repeated system feels boring, but wealth is often built through boring repetition. The same customer, the same route, the same service, the same payment, again and again. So the most important question from this entire video is not, which of these businesses should I start? The better question is, does this business get paid once? Or does it get paid repeatedly? That question removes a lot of weak ideas immediately. Because a business that must find a completely new customer for every dollar is always starting over. A business with recurring customers begins the next month with something already working, and that changes everything. Let me be honest, most people who begin studying business search for a genius idea, something nobody has ever seen, a new app, a viral product, a completely untouched market. But thousands of other ambitious people are searching for the same thing. They are all trying to be first. They are all competing for attention. They are all spending money trying to convince customers to care about something new. Meanwhile, someone quietly purchases a cleaning route. Someone installs vending machines. Someone buys a laundromat. Someone manages monthly books for 10 companies. Someone signs pest control contracts. Someone rents equipment. Nobody writes a dramatic article about them. Nobody calls them a visionary. They simply continue collecting payments. Imagine two people. Daniel and Alex are both 34. Daniel spends years searching for the perfect idea. He tries an app, then an online store, then a new product, then another idea he saw on social media. Every attempt requires him to find an audience from zero. He works hard, sometimes harder than anyone around him. But every project places him inside a crowded market filled with thousands of people chasing the same attention. 7 years later, Daniel is still searching. Not because he is lazy, because he keeps choosing businesses where excitement is high and certainty is low. Alex makes a different decision. He buys a small cleaning company with recurring office contracts. It is not impressive. The website is old. The uniforms are basic. Nobody at dinner is fascinated when he explains it. But the customers already pay every month. Alex improves scheduling. He replaces unreliable employees. He raises the quality. He adds pressure washing to existing clients. Then he places vending machines inside 2 commercial properties he already serves. 4 years later, the combined cash flow replaces his salary. His money now arrives while he sleeps, not because the business performs magic, because the systems and employees continue working when he is not personally holding the equipment. The difference between Daniel and Alex was not intelligence, it was not luck, and it was not effort. One chose the exciting idea everyone wanted. The other chose the boring problem customers were already paying to solve. That is the uncomfortable truth behind this entire list. The business nobody wants to talk about may be the one with the least competition. The task everyone hates may be the one customers happily outsource. The service that repeats may be more valuable than the product that goes viral once. And sometimes your first step is not creating a logo or submitting a loan application. Sometimes it is checking whether your credit profile is ready to finance the equipment, vehicle, property, or acquisition the opportunity requires. Do not apply blindly with inaccurate information damaging your report. Review the file. Correct genuine errors. Lower high balances. Build clean payment history. Then evaluate the financing based on total cost, not only whether someone says approved. Because the goal is not simply to own a business. The goal is to own a business whose customers continue paying, whose systems continue operating, and whose cash flow does not disappear the moment you stop working. The exciting idea may get attention. The boring system gets paid.